So we've got a few PowerPoint issues, but I just thought I'd start talking now, because I've talked Britain, and maybe just explain a little bit about why we at Methods work with Jadu. So I spent quite a lot of time thinking about what the internet is going to do to businesses. Public, private sector, local government, doesn't really matter. And the issue that we've got, I think, in the UK, the ones you may have heard me say this before, is we've got 430 councils, and we all do much of what we do is the same. There are bits that we do that are very, very different and local, but quite a lot of it, we make and receive payments, we spin up some case management, some workflows, some identity, some registration, some licensing. And we do them again and again and again, often mirrored by outsourced partners. And we are tempted to continue to kind of build and reinvent the wheel. And one of the things the internet does, I think, is create this massive pressure on people, businesses everywhere, to stop reinventing the wheel and start to actually share. So if I ask people in this room, for example, what version of Google do you run? What a stupid question, isn't it? What do you mean, what version of Google do I run? It's just on. Why would I ever think or want to run my own version of Google? It doesn't make sense in the world of the internet. And what is happening is that effect is starting to creep out into all sorts of other businesses. And so all of those capabilities I talk about, I talk a lot about Lego government, that we share and are hidden all over the place, are of course driving a lot of the cost pressures that we've got in local services already. And I've got a prediction, which is that in 30 years' time, we're going to have more doctors, teachers, nurses, social workers, daycare centres, parks, road maintenance, and all the rest of it. We'll have more of those, and we'll have local politicians, because someone's going to argue over the money locally, and then most other people will probably have gone. And I think they're going to get streamed like Netflix movies, because it's business logic, really, again and again and again. And the reason that we work with Jadu is because I've been talking, of course, about platform business models. And Jadu don't see themselves as a product, they see themselves as a platform. And the whole point about platforms, of course, is that the more people that use them, the more it drives down costs, the more people start to standardise where appropriate, and the more benefits that they get. So, for example, the first fax machine user probably had a bit of a frustrating time. Right? There's only one fax machine. There's only so far you can go with it. However, there are 1.5 million apps on the iOS App Store. And that's not because of the product, it's not because of the technology in here, it's because of the fact that there are hundreds of millions of people who carry one of these in their pockets. And because of that, there is all sorts of goodies that we can all run on this stuff. That's why Microsoft is no longer a product business. It's a PaaS. It's trying to be a platform. It's trying to be the place where everybody goes and builds and shares and builds social value. And I think what's pretty stunning about Jadu is those are all private sector examples. Jadu is private sector, but what it's trying to do in the library is encourage all of you guys in local government to become that ecosystem, so to become almost the equivalent of 1.4 million apps, and to share those things. And the more of you who share them and start to standardise where appropriate what you can do, the more you're going to drive down costs, and the more we're actually going to start to modernise the entire local government business model. So I'd like to see more frontline public service, and I'd like to see a lot of the business administration and process at the back end treated more and more and more like Google as we go through the next few decades. I think Jadu is pretty much the only player, because so many people run it, and because it's enlightened enough to try and make local services into an ecosystem, pretty much the only player out there in the UK. And the more people who adopt it and start uploading and sharing things, the more we're going to start to drive activities which really no longer add very much value to the citizen, more towards that Google model. So that's why we work with Jadu. We're very kind of mission-driven methods. All is ex-local government, many of our people are ex-public sector or local government, and we're interested in working with partners that have that mission, have that kind of business mission that drives them. So that's what we're doing here. Yes, just gone straight for the Lego bit. I did have some sort of slides about who we are and what we do, but we are based in London, but offices around the country. Turnover about 70 million this year, we're growing quite quickly. And doing all sorts of exciting things, looking at the next generation technologies, and how basically to automate or to make simpler a lot of what we will do. Because that we think is going to move us to the model that we're trying to bring about. So that's enough of my kind of the why methods and Jadu. Paul's our head of local government practice, so he's going to say a few words about our engagement model and what we actually do.